This is called Daily. These shriveled seeds we plant, corn kernel, dried bean, poke into loosened soil, cover over with measured fingertips. These t-shirts we fold into perfect white squares. These tortillas we slice and fry to crisp strips. This rich egg scrambled in a gray clay bowl. This bed whose covers I straighten, smoothing edges till blue quilt fits brown blanket and nothing hangs out. This envelope I address, so the name balances like a cloud in the center of the sky. This page I type and retype. This table I dust till the scarred wood shines. This bundle of clothes I wash and hang and wash again, like flags we share, a country so close no one needs to name it. The days are nouns, touch them. The hands are churches that worship the world. And with all of the refugees we have in mind and try to help in our various communities, that poem at this point seems like a poem of privilege, even to have a bed you can make repeatedly and know repeatedly. And thanks to Maine for the friendliness you have shown to many people coming here recently. Famous. This poem was used in a court case last week by Judge Andre Davis, and I received messages. I'm very touched that a judge would read a full poem in his part of a case. And he was saluting Gavin Grimm for his bravery. The river is famous to the fish. The loud voice is famous to silence, which knew it would inherit the earth before anybody said so. The cat sleeping on the fence is famous to the birds watching him from the birdhouse. The tear is famous, briefly, to the cheek. The idea you carry close to your bosom is famous to your bosom. The boot is famous to the earth, more famous than the dress shoe, which is famous only to floors. The bent photograph is famous to the one who carries it, not at all famous to the one who is pictured. I want to be famous to shuffling men who smile while crossing streets, sticky children in grocery lines, famous as the one who smiled back. I want to be famous in the way a pulley is famous, or a buttonhole, not because it did anything spectacular, but because it never forgot what it could do. And that was written in response to kids who would ask any visiting person in their school, "Are you famous?" to determine whether or not they should pay good attention. And so I thought they needed some kind of tricky response that would make them be sitting there thinking, what did that mean? You know? So that was why that was written. Thank you for being the friendly people of Maine. I've always thought Maine is a very wonderful, down-to-earth, honorable, authentic state, and to come here is a treat. And then one other one, and this also would relate to mentioning refugees, because my father and his whole family, they were refugees in 1948. My grandmother, Siti Hadra, lived to be 106 years old, and after losing their home in Jerusalem, she lived in a small village in the West Bank called Sinjil, and my father was the only person who immigrated to the United States from that period as a student in the 50s. But this is for Siti, and it's called The Words Under the Words. My grandmother's hands recognized the damp shine of a goat's new skin. When I was sick, they followed me. I woke from the long fever to find them covering my head, cool prayers. My grandmother's days are made of bread, around pat-pat and the slow baking. She waits by the oven, watching a strange car circle the streets. Maybe it holds her son, lost to America. More often, tourists who kneel and weep at mysterious shrines. She knows how often mail arrives, how rarely there is a letter. When one comes, she announces it, a miracle, listening to it read again and again in the dim evening light. My grandmother's voice says nothing can surprise her. Take her the shotgun wound and the crippled baby. She knows the spaces we travel through, the messages we cannot send. Our voices are short and would get lost on the journey. Farewell to the husband's coat, the ones she has loved and nourished, who fly from her like seeds into a deep sky. They will plant themselves. We will all die. My grandmother's eyes say Allah is everywhere, even in death. When she talks of the orchard, the new olive press, when she tells the stories of Joha and his foolish wisdoms, he is her first thought. What she really thinks of is his name. Answer if you hear the words under the words. Otherwise, it is just a world with a lot of rough edges, difficult to get through, and our pockets full of stones.